Hello, happy Tuesday. I know some people are probably celebrating for the holiday, and others are just, enjoying the day, trying to make it through. And I have been kind of busy, so this is a late post for me today, but at least it's happening, right? Like we want to keep on rolling, life keeps on moving. We can't stop because there's other things going on. And so, right? So many things that I want to share and talk about, but today specifically, it was just like the timing was right, right? Like the timing just be right. Where I try and talk about things that I'm experiencing in my life, but at the same time resonating with things that come from the word and what I feel, my spirit, and all of that to talk about. And so, yeah, let's just go ahead and get into it, right? Before I lose your like time and interest. But yeah, so recently I have been, on this journey seeking what is truly going to connect with me, what aligns with me, what like works as far as like my personality and who I am and all these good things, right? Like the other day I was saying I want all things new. Right? All things new. And it's so interesting because I study relational and like systemic therapy and counseling. So really that's like relationships. Like that's all that is. And for the longest time, I've always loved relationships. I don't know where it came from, like, but I've always loved it. You can always see different parts of it coming out of me throughout all the years of my life, even when I was like preteen, teenager, 20s and now 30s. And it's so interesting because, then you see it in everything, right? And so recently I've been like looking for all these different things that align with who I am. And I saw this one, like particular job. And actually, now I'm thinking about it, I saw a few jobs that kind of connected with that, where, it deals with like dating and all of that. And I am very old fashioned in this way. Like, I'm just put it out there. I'm very old fashioned in the way of being face to face with people and like communicating with them and connecting with them on that level, right? As much as we are into all of this, like, technology and this AI and all this new stuff. Like I am a very like firm believer that we are going to end up going back to the basics at some point. Like, yes, this is great. It is, it can be efficient. It can be, effective in different ways. It can be helpful. But at the end of the day, there is nothing like good old, like human connection. And the fact that even during the pandemic, when you could like experience not being with people, you could see how it's actually beneficial for our health and well-being to actually be connecting with people, and not just through the internet, but I mean actually having physical touch, actually being in front of their face, seeing all the different facial expressions and different body language and stuff like that. Like all these different things, it's actually beneficial for our health and well-being. And so I'm very old-fashioned in that way, and a huge like believer, like very firm believer in the like basically need for it. Right? Like the need for it. And so when I see these different roles that come across, like especially when dealing with dating, it's like, that's interesting, right? Like it's interesting to really focus on that aspect of what is somebody bringing into your world? Like for real, what is someone bringing into your world? And so it's interesting to me because then this morning I wake up and my Bible opens up to Song of Songs. And so for me, this is like one of my favorite books of the Bible. Like it's a lot of the books of the Bible are my favorite. I love the Bible in general. And for people who don't read the Bible, like, oh my goodness, you're missing out. It has like almost every genre that you could think of. And it's like the best example of writing ever. All of it is God inspired. Well, it's different people that wrote it, but it was all God inspired. And I'm telling you, like, he is the bomb writer. Like his words and how he describes things and how he can put you in those particular, like places and to have you feeling, when you're reading and all those different things. Like, man, he a bomb writer. And so, yeah, look, I digress. But as I'm reading, right, Song of Songs today, it's so interesting how when you read the Bible, like you get all of these different things each time you read it. It could be the exact same thing, but you're getting so many different things each time you read it based on, like what he's trying to reveal to you specifically, right? It's so personal when you're reading the word and he's like speaking to you about different things. And so it doesn't matter, right? I love Song of Songs. And for people who don't know, like Solomon wrote the book, right? And this is the one who has like all the wisdom and, like all of that. And it was David's son, but he had like all the wisdom and spiritual aspect, connection, close to God and stuff like that. And he's talking about this bride, right? Like in the Song of Songs. And this is one of my favorite books just because you all know I'm about love like all day. But at the same time, it's just so good because it's like each time I read it, I get something different, like every single time. And so today I was reading it, and in connection to this whole what are you bringing, right? Like what are you bringing into my life type of thing. When you get towards the end of Song of Songs, that's what it's talking about. It says like, man, and to him it's like I'm bringing contentment, contentment, like satisfaction, happiness. And before that, it was talking about like how she was a wall, like, and I had to like break down what these things meant, like, oh, it's like she's a wall, like, man, she's enclosing, like this is a place of privacy. This is a place of security. This is a place of protection. You get what I'm saying? Like when you for real reading it and you see like what's actually going on. That's why I'm like, every time you read, like God is revealing different things to you based on like what we can handle and what we need, like what he's letting us know that's important to us at that point in time in our lives. And so when I'm thinking about, these roles, right? Dealing with dating and just roles in general, like any type of job you're trying to apply for, or anytime you're in some type of relationship, or you're starting something new, or some organization, or some relationship in your life. In my mind, I'm always thinking like, man, I need to be near. Like, right? It's one thing when you're talking to somebody on it through an email or through a text message or over the phone or in some type of video meeting or something like that. It's a whole nother level when you're like in front of a person and you're talking to them. And I'm telling you, I think it's because we're in like this new age type of thing, like, where it's just like technology is really ruling right now. And I get that. Like I said, it could be great, like good for connecting people all over the world, making things more efficient, more effective, all of that. But at the same time, it's like before all of that, right? Like we had to flat out meet people and be in front of their face and see like, who is this person? What type of vibe are they giving me? What's their, like, what's their vibe? Like, what are they giving off? Like, what am I feeling? You get what I'm saying? Like, remember back in the day, that's what they would say. And even now, today, it's still like, well, what's your first impression? Like, what's your impression of this person, right? And it was really making me reflect on this. Like, seriously, this is the question for the day. Although it's kind of late, it's like this is the reflection question that I'm having for the day, where it's just like, what are you bringing? Like, what are you bringing? Like, we see this question all of the time. We like, right? We hear it all the time when it's just like, well, like, what makes you special? What makes you different? What makes you stand out? Like, what are your strengths? Like, tell me about yourself. Like, what's something that I should know about you, and all these different things. But it's nothing like actually being in front of a person or being in that person's presence and seriously being able to connect with them on that level. And so today it really made me think about that. Like when I finally got to the end of Song of Songs and I was reflecting on it, I'm like, she said, I'm like somebody who's bringing contentment. That speaks volumes, right? I think a lot of the times in life we just go, 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 especially in society. It's like people are just out here doing things. Like you have people who have all these different responsibilities, and so they busy, or they say they busy, or they acting busy, whatever it is. But it's like we all have these obligations or responsibilities, or just us in general, and stuff we want to do and things that we're doing, and it's almost like we just go, 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 right? But really, do we stop and think about this? Do we stop and think about, like, what vibe am I bringing when I step into a room? Like, what is my presence felt like when I'm around this person, or when I'm in this particular space? Or like, if you starting something new, or you're coming to some place and it's like a first impression, it's like, what do they feel? When I'm around them, type of thing. You get what I'm saying? Like, it just makes you stop and really think. When, at least for me, after I was reading Song of Songs, I'm like, okay, yeah, we see their admiration for each other, right? Like all throughout, the book, and how they admire the other, or strongly respect them, strongly adore them, like I deeply love them, type of thing. They call each other beloved and friend and all of that. But then to me, I'm thinking of it just as in general, right? Because some people say that Song of Songs is kind of like Christ and the church, right? Like the church being seen as the bride, like Christ and the church. And so to me, it's like with whatever relationship, that we have in our lives, what do we bring to that? Right? Like, what do we bring to that? And it was really making me reflect, because I'm like, sometimes you're in situations and you just like, oh my goodness, like, it's too much. Like, sometimes I'm serious. Sometimes we know everybody, look, you all want to act like you don't know what I'm talking about, but I keep it real. I'm going to tell you exactly what, like goes on in society. It's like, yeah, sometimes you get in situations where you be around people and you just like, it's too much going on. It's too much chaos, too much drama, too much nonsense, too much messiness, too much of that extra. I don't need that. Like, I don't need that. Or seriously, like you're with someone or around, people or what have you, and it's like all I experience is problems, like problem after problem after problem. Like, it's always some issues, it's always some extra, like, what, you get what I'm saying? And then other times you can be in places or in situations or around people, and it's just like, man, when I get around you, it's like I get a sense of peace. Like, there is calm, there is ease. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're making things easy. Like, it's a rest. It's good. It's positive. It's uplifting. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's real, right? These things are real. And so then it made me stop. And I was just looking it up a few minutes ago. I'm like, man, a person's vibe, right? Because then I'm also, in parts of my life where it's just like, okay, what does make you special? When someone asks you this question, or even for yourself to know, it's like, yeah, if someone came to you and asked you that, like, what makes you different? What makes you stand out? Like, what is so special about you? Type of thing. Like, why should I choose you? Type of thing. And for me, I'm just like, man, my love. Like my love for one, and then it's not like any other, and not only that, but then it's like my presence, my energy, my vibe, like all that, right? Like that part, like you're not getting that from nobody else. Like, seriously, you're not gonna get it from anybody else. And so it's that type of thing, right? Where to me, it's almost like technology takes away from that. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's why I'm like, I'm very old fashioned in that way, where it's just like, yeah, you are still going to need human connection. Like, period. We're always going to need it. Like, we're relational creatures. Jesus was relational. We're meant to be around each other and help each other and all of that. So at the end of the day, when we're creating like these barriers or all these things in between, that's like, I guess it's like this buffer, right? Like, it's like, let's do this meeting, and when we do this meeting, it's gonna be virtual, what have you, or like, oh, okay, well, let's meet up, but let's chat, let's do a chat first. And it's like, okay, but I don't get a chance to experience what your spirit is like. Like, I need to know, like, what are you about? Like, what am I sensing when I'm around you? Like, what are you giving off? What are you bringing into my world? You get what I'm saying? Like, is it just me? Like, is it just me? I don't know, but I'm gonna put it out there for today's reflection question. Like, for real, like, what are you bringing to a room? What are you bringing to a relationship? Like, what are you bringing to a space, to a place, to a whatever? Like, what is that? What is it? You get what I'm saying? Like, that is so important. And especially when we stop and we see it. Like, if for people who don't read, it's in Song of Songs and it's in 8, right? Song of Songs 8, somewhere in there, if you read it, it'll say it. Like, I'm like one bringing contentment, right? And when I broke it down and I was really reflecting, I'm like, she's saying, like, I'm bringing a sense of protection. I'm enclosing. I'm like a safe space. I am like creating space for this person, a protection, providing this for them. You get what I'm saying? Like, and for that, they feel content. They are satisfied. They happy. You get what I'm saying? I think sometimes we look at Song of Songs and it is just straight up like marriage or it's straight up like intimate relationships. But when you think about it, we're very relational creatures. Like, we're very relational. And not only that, but it's like we're supposed to be out here like radiating all of this love and light. And at the same time, that should be shown in like how we treat people and what we do and all of that. And so for me, it's like if you getting in spaces or places or you around people and it's like all they doing is causing chaos or, like, and I'm telling you, you all know how I am. I will tell you my life type of thing. It's like I've been in those experiences for real where it's just like, oh my goodness, you think it's funny or you think it's fun or a game, but it's like, that's not cute. Like, that whenever a person is around or in a certain space or a place, that it's like you creating problems or it's some type of drama or it's some type of game and it's causing distress or it's causing somebody to feel uneasy or unsafe. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, whenever that type of stuff is happening, it's like that's not good. What have you. And to me, I'm just like, that's so important, right? Like, we lose that ability when we don't do it, right? Like, back in the day or in the past, I'll say, when you got around people, it was on you to decide, like, is this somebody I want to be around, right? Like, what type of impression am I getting from them based on what they're saying and how they say it, how they behave, how they respond, how they react to stuff. Nowadays, it's like, do you even know what their voice sounds like? Right? Like, I'm serious. Like, do you even know what their voice sounds like? I was reflecting on it today. I'm like, you call help places and you're speaking to a virtual assistant. You're not even speaking to a real person sometimes. Same thing with if you looking for something or you need some assistance with something. Sometimes you're chatting and you will never hear a voice. You get what I'm saying? And it's like those types of things. Like, seriously, that's why I'm not a huge like text message person, because a lot of times you can text and the stuff gets misconstrued because you're missing all of the vital aspects that go along with it. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, for me, I just have an English background, and so for me, I try and put in all those things that help, like punctuation and like how you want something to sound, because I have that background in writing and all of that with tone and like how you want it to be interpreted. But for a regular person who don't have all of that, it's just like they just typing how they feel. Like, like they just type, and hopefully it comes across in that way, but it's not the same. Like, it's never going to be the same when you're talking to a person in front of their face and you can actually see their facial expression and how they're saying something, or their body language as they're giving something off, or their, expression from when you say something to them and how they receive it and all these different things. And just the fact that even when you look this stuff up, like, seriously, statistically, data wise, it's like you look it up and it's telling you, like, just human touch by itself, like us going going through the pandemic and people not being able to be within a certain amount of feet with each other, or being, like blocked off where they can't see each other or be in each other's presence, it's just like that for real affected people's health. You get what I'm saying? And so for me, it's like it just shows you like how vital it is for our well-being. And not just that, but the fact that it is just such a like prevalent thing right, to have in our lives, because we're already relational. And so when I was thinking about, what she was saying as far as it being, what do you call it, her saying like it's a sense of like I'm bringing contentment or what have you, and clearly she felt the same way, right? That's what I want people to be thinking about. Like, that's what I'm challenging you all to really reflect on, especially when sometimes we don't even have that long of a time to connect with a person. You get what I'm saying? Like, sometimes we're like out in the street. Sometimes you just happen to be in a situation and you get to talk to a person or see a person for like, what, a minute or two? Like, right? Like an hour, a couple hours, maybe 30 minutes. And it's just like within that period of time, are we seriously reflecting on like what vibes we're giving off, what our level of frequency is, that energy, all that? I ain't in all the chakras and stuff like that. Or, like some for real, some people into that with like, oh, they energy level is blah, blah, blah. Like, I ain't into all that, but I am going to let it be known, like, yeah, my whole presence, yeah, my vibration, yeah, my energy, yeah, spiritually, like my spirit, yeah, it vibes, its frequency is high, what have you. And I know that, and that I do know I'm special in that way. But at the same time, it's just like when we're out in this world and we're not thinking about these things, right? Like, we're not thinking about the fact that, yeah, us and our presence, it's important, right? Like how we're responding to people and what we're saying and what we're doing, it's impacting them in a very significant way. Like, I don't think we realize how much power we have in that when we get into other people's presence and we're saying things and doing things. It's just like, yeah, you can for real impact them in so many ways that it's crazy. And especially when it comes to, what do you call it? When you're in person. Right? Like, it's a whole different level when you're in person opposed to when you're texting, when you're instant messaging, when you're emailing, when like video chatting or any of that. It's just never going to be the same as actually being in person, right? But at the same time, even if you aren't, right? Like, because I told you, I'm very old fashioned in that way. Even if you aren't, it's still important for us to think about what are we giving off? Like, what are we putting out there? Like, seriously, because you're putting out something. I'm just saying that right now. You're putting out something. Everybody is putting something out. But it's just like, do we have enough self-awareness to realize that? Are we seriously reflecting on the fact that, yeah, even the quickest seconds of being around a person, even us passing by someone on a bus stop or someone crossing our paths in a mall or the lobby or what have you, you know what I'm saying? Like, even the smallest interactions, opposed to big ones where we're spending a massive amount of time with people. It's like, yeah, you are giving off something. What are you giving off? What are you giving off? Like, I think some people don't really think about it, especially now. I was, listening to Alexa earlier, and I'm just like, it's crazy the things that we do with social media and following things and just doing what other people say and stuff like that. Do we for real realize what our actions and what our words and stuff are doing? Like, do we realize that? And are we seriously like cognizant of it when we're in interactions with people? Like, do we for real care? Like, we're doing this one thing, but are we realizing like, okay, that's positive or that's negative? Like, okay, I'm doing this and it's funny to me, but what is that saying about me? Like, how's the person or people feeling when I'm in their presence? You get what I'm saying? Like, that type of thing. And I ain't saying, get out here and appease people. Now, come on now. No. Like, you all know how I am. I'm not saying get out here and change who you are and all that. But I am saying let's be reflective of seriously what we're giving off. And not only that, but what do you want to give off? Like, to me, when I was reading, the passage in Song of Songs, for her to even say that, like, man, I am like one bringing contentment, that gives you something to reflect on. The fact that you can bring something like that to people, right? Whether it be in an intimate relationship, whether it be in a regular relationship, a professional relationship, whatever it may be. But it's like, okay, once you're aware of that, right? Like, then really reflect on, what is my presence bringing? Like, what is, I'm serious. Like, because to me, I'm very spiritual in that way. And so it's like, when I get around people and I'm in situations, that's one of the first things I'm doing. I'm trying to sense, like, what type of spirit am I around right now? Like, what's going on here? Like, I'm serious. I try and sense, like, what is going on with this person, what is going on in this space, like, what am I sensing, what am I feeling? And that's real. That's something that, no, you might be able to get it, like, for real. I'm that type where it's like, I might be able to get it from a distance or virtually or what have you, but when I'm in person, oh, it's a whole nother level. Like, now it's just like, oh, it's a whole nother level. And now I'm like, what's going on here? Like, what's happening? Like, oh, okay, I like this. Or, like, I'm serious. Like, this, it is a real thing. To, basically, when people say, like, what's your first impression and stuff, or what's your impression of them, it's like, it's one thing to look at stuff from a fleshly point of view. It's a whole nother level when you're looking at something spiritually and someone's soul, right? Someone's spirit and what they're giving off, right? That's a very real thing. And so that's something that for me, I was really reflecting on today. I'm like, yeah, I'm thinking of that one question where it's like, what makes you different? What makes you stand out? What makes you special? What makes me want to choose you, type of thing. But at the same time, it's like, it's important for all of us, right? It's important for all of us to know that about ourselves. Like, what are you for real bringing to other people's presence? Like, if you making people head hurt, if you up here causing issues and problems, and they feeling in distress, they whatever, like, I'm for real, like, they feeling worse, or bad around you and stuff like that. Like, that's speaking volumes, and they ain't feeling that way around other people. Or whatever, like, or you getting around people and for real, like, man, I feel lighter around you. Like, man, I feel safe, I feel protected, I feel, at peace, I feel, like, it's a whole different thing. And that whole spirit thing, that's real. Like, I'm put that in that, and that's gonna be my last word for the evening. But it's like, when it says that in the Bible, for believers out there, when it says, like, test the spirits, like, that's real. That's real. Like, when you getting around people and you out here in this world, because we in it, we're not of it. When you out here in this world, that is a very, like, critical piece for you to know. Like, for all of us, it's a very critical piece for us to be able to discern between spirits and all that type of stuff. And so when I'm telling you, like, this virtual stuff, like, sometimes it's a barrier, but at the same time, you can even get it, in that way. But it's super important for us ourselves, right, to know what we're bringing, right? Like, what are we bringing into something? What are we bringing into a relationship? What are we bringing into a space? What are we bringing when we show up? Like, how are we making people feel? How is it impacting those around us? Like, seriously, all of that's real. That's a very real thing. And to know what type of spirits you have, right? And the same thing, right, for for ourselves and what we want to bring, right? These are the things that I'm challenging everyone to think about today. Not just, what type of spirit you think you bring in, but also, what type of spirit do you want? Is that what you want to be bringing? Like, I don't know, but be thinking about that, because that stuff is real. And I know that's how I am. It's like, what's going on here? Like, let me sense, like, what's happening. Like, I'm beyond hearing everything people say and just watching their actions. Like, I need to sense what type of spirit I'm around. I need to know, like, what you like. What are you giving off? Like, all of that, right? Very, very important. And so, yes, today's reflection, right, is coming from Song of Songs, which is an excellent book about love. It's about respect. It's about, what do you call it? marriage. It's about shoot, admiration and stuff. What was it saying? Don't arouse it. Don't right? Don't be trying to force or do anything when it comes to love. But then it also goes into the power of love, right? So yeah, that's kind of where my thoughts were coming from the day, and me having personal experiences about, just what you bring to something, right? And that's real. That's real. Right? When we hear that, forget what's your first impression of a person or what's your impression. It's like, nah, what you sensing? What are you you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you for real getting from this? What are you feeling when you get around them? Like, consistently, how are you feeling? What's coming from that? And not only that, but what are you giving off? Right? Like, what's coming from you? What's your spirit like, type of thing, right? Like, that stuff is super important. So especially for believers out there, I'm talking to everybody, but for the believers out there, that is real, and we do use that to discern between spirits. And not only that, but it's real. It's very real. So hopefully it was helpful for you this evening. If nothing else, it was helpful for me. And always, I'm encouraging you all to read your Bible and to be meditating on his word day and night, because you never know what he's going to reveal to you, and something that you need to know, and something that you're thinking about, or what have you. So keep reading your word. And if you haven't started, get in there and read. Today's passage was from Song of Songs, and it's a beautiful book. It's a beautiful book to read. Very short, but just filled with so much dramatic language. Just so, oh my goodness, God is like the best writer. He is the best writer. It's all God inspired, but it's like, go in there if you into poetry, if you're into music, like any of that. Like, he is the best. And Song of Songs is one of the awesomest. Look, is that a word? Is one of my favorite books to read, because it is just so, like, beautifully written. It really is. And if nothing else, it teaches you a lot about how we should be, right, when it comes to relationships, both intimate and all the other ones, where it's like a respect there, it's a love there, it's a care there, it's a protection there, it's a covering there, it's a safety there, security there. You get what I'm saying? And especially when you compare it with Jesus and the church. And we are the church, right? The believers, we are the church. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Right, for the evening. And I shall talk to you all at another time. Bye.